Hi and welcome back to another Yin Yoga practice. My name is Ellie and I have put together a longer sequence this time. We're going to be practicing for about an hour with longer holds in the poses. Only 3 minutes, it's nothing too crazy, but other classes we are here 1 to 2 minutes. So let's see how it goes when we start increasing the time that we spend in the poses. The idea behind this sequence is to use it to heal and recover, either physically or mentally. That's why the holds are a bit longer, so we can be in a stillness a bit longer as well. And that will help us to not only keep moving deeper into our tissues, but also keep moving deeper into our mind, into our skill to be present, to be in the here and now. So let's see how it goes. For this practice, you may need a blanket, you may not, but just it's good to have it with you. I know that I don't need it, so that's why I don't have it. And maybe 2 blocks or 2 thick books that can help you to bring the floor upward, closer to you. Otherwise, I will give you modifications and options. We always have options to modify the poses in case that we don't have props around. So find those things if they are close to you. Hopefully by now, if you have been practicing for a while with me, or if you are a regular practitioner, you have your little space with your mat, your props, and you know that that is the place to go and practice. So I will meet you back here in a comfortable seated position, closing your eyes. Taking a few moments to arrive on the mat, to acknowledge where you are at this moment. Taking a few minutes here to connect with your natural breath. And when I say connect, I mean pay attention to it. The breath is something we take for granted. We don't have to make any effort to breathe. So take these moments to acknowledge, to observe the temperature of the air coming inside of your nostrils, the temperature when the air leaves your lungs, observing how your body moves, without changing anything, without making any particular sound, always inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Observing how shallow, how deep your breath is. If it stays on the chest or travels all the way down to the belly. Observing if you take the same time to inhale than to exhale. And very slowly trying to even up the length of the inhalation and the exhalation. Trying to take deeper, or moving the breath a little bit deeper, so it goes all the way down to your belly. And maybe taking time to expand those exhalations, to make them a bit longer than the inhalations. Without rushing in the breathing. Just taking a few moments to acknowledge that the exhalation provides. So trying to find the rhythm, the pattern of the breath that works for you, and try to observe that pattern throughout the whole practice. Very softly and mindfully, we will blink our eyes open. And we will find our way to the first pose, a pose that is very needed, but we usually don't practice it much because it tends to be quite uncomfortable, but still I will give you options. So it's a toe stretch. So make sure that all your toes are planted on the floor. And you have to move the little one out. And once you're here with your hips hopefully meeting your heels, so once we have all the toes on the floor, so we have the options to keep our hands on the thighs. We're going to be here for 2 minutes. Actually, I'm going to start counting now while I talk. So your hands can be on your thighs. That's one option. If you want to lessen the stress that we are applying to the toes, especially if you are not used to work on this part of your body, you can bring your hands forward and stay here. This still will do the job. If you, for whatever reason, would like to increase, you can place your hands behind you and support yourself here. This will increase the stress that we're applying not only to the toes but also to the plantar fascia. And closing your eyes, I will let you know when to release. As I said, you will feel uncomfortable, most likely. Majority of people do. Our feet spend a lot of time in shoes without opening the fascia. And when we practice yoga, when we try to move, when we start practicing asanas, we encounter limitation coming from the posterior part of the leg. And most of the time, people blame the hamstrings or the glutes of being tight. And the tightness can come actually from this part that we are massaging right now, the sole of our feet, our toes. We have a lot of ligaments and tendons in that area. So providing some space is a good idea. We have only 20 more seconds to go. So if you can remain in the stillness there, that will be great. Knowing that everything in this life passes. Good, pleasant, uncomfortable. And this is the moment to release very gently. Move yourself forward and only untug your toes. Avoid the urge of flapping your toes against the mat. We don't want to move from a yin stimulus to a very yang movement. So just untug your toes. Pause. Feel. Observe. Before moving to the other posture, we still will continue working with the toes, the ankle, and this time the dorsal of the feet. So we will do an ankle stretch. So that was a toe stretch. Now we will move to the front. So again, options. You can stay here in antler pose. This is already doing the job. We barely do plantar flexion, which is this movement of the ankle when you're moving your toes toward the plant of your feet. Or you can walk your hands back. So this is, again, option 2. 2 minutes, we're going to stay here. So you can move your hands back, stay here. This is already applying some extra weight to your ankles. Or if you feel like going a little bit deeper, why not? Let's see how it goes. You can lift your knees off the floor and just using your hands as support. This is already giving us an extra stimulus to the ankle stretch. Close the eyes. I'm not going anywhere. We'll tell you actually when 1 minute is gone in case you want to modify the intensity of the posture. And you can go to any of the other variations that I just show you. If you feel like moving. This maybe is the time. We have 1 minute left. So you can go back to only the hands, releasing the knees down, or you can come and sit on your heels, and that will do the job. It's always a good idea to pay attention to your feet. It's something that we tend to neglect when we practice postures in yoga. Only 30 more seconds to go, wherever you are. And remember, we are pressing the doors of the feet against the floor. This is what we want. We're compressing that area. The magic happens when we release the pose. That's why I always ask you to pause so we don't move too quickly from pose to pose. Good. So start releasing the pose wherever you are. Keep moving your torso forward and stopping in tabletop. Observe. I don't know if you felt what I just felt, but it's a sensation of things rushing back to that area. Blood, energy, water, heat, however you want to describe it. It's a rush of sensations around the ankle area, and this is what we want. We want to stress an area, compress it, stretch it, twist it, and when we release that, a lot of things are going to move back to that place. This is where if you may need your blocks or the books that you have, you may not, because again, I will give you options. So we're going to be working on the right leg for a while. So bring your right foot forward, keeping your knee aligned with the ankle. This is not necessarily is always the alignment for the dragons. There is one dragon that you move your foot back, but in this one you want to have more or less your knee aligned with your ankles. So options, you can have your blocks, your books here to elevate the floor. You can place your hands on the floor, resting your torso and your head on your knee. And if for whatever reason we don't have props available and having your hands on the floor is not accessible or not comfortable today, you can come up. Just rest your hands on your thigh, close your eyes, and allow your hips to sink deeper and lower. So choose any variation, even either staying up here, having the blocks, the books, or the hands down on the floor. This is when we start holding poses for a bit longer. So 3 minutes in this baby dragon or any variation, any modification. Again, with the neck, with the head, if resting the head on the knee is not comfortable, you can keep it aligned with the rest of your spine. But whatever you are, whatever you choose to be, maybe closing the eyes will help you to stay in the present moment, to observe what is arising in the physical body, but also in the mental, emotional layers of yourself. Remember one of the principles of yin. Once you have found the shape that feels effective for your body, is stay in stillness. Stillness of the body, stillness of the breath, stillness of the mind. We have 30 seconds to go. So let's see if we can remain quietly, peacefully in whatever is it that you're feeling right now. Time's up. We're gonna bring our torso upright. We are not necessarily shift the leg just yet because we will transition to the other pose from here. So we start moving the right foot to meet, actually the right knee to meet the left knee, placing one in front of the other one. I will give you options for the legs soon. And moving your feet away so we come and sit, planting both sit bones on the floor. I will just move around so you can see what is happening with the arms. You just stay where you are. We don't want to move too much. So if for whatever reason this is not possible today because the body is the body and we don't know where we are, we can have the easy cross, having the right leg on top. We can do the same pose that I was doing, but with the left leg extend. So basically you are doing the right leg, or you can come with both legs. Usually the asymmetrical version, the one that I just show you is all the asymmetrical versions tend to be accessible, more accessible than the rest one, or the not the rest one. Let's reshoot this. What did I say? So we have options for the legs. So options, if for whatever reason this is not accessible today, we can have the easy cross, this position, having the right leg in front. We can come to the asymmetrical version when we have only the right knee on top of the left, but the left leg is an extension, or we can flex the left knee. Usually the asymmetrical versions, the one that I show you when one leg is doing one thing and the other one is doing different thing, are more accessible than the symmetrical version. Anyway, choose your variation. This is with the legs. With the hands, we also have options. So we're gonna have the right hand on top. We're gonna have the right arm first, and then we're gonna cross the left arm on top. We can hug ourselves. This is a good way to start loving ourselves. Or we can have dorso towards dorso. That is an option. Or we can keep the twist and have palm against palm. So choose a variation for your arms and then release the shoulders, release the elbows, release the head and the torso. And we come here. To relax, you can let go. The arms resting on your legs. Is my voice audible here?
It's audible but a little muffled. But I think it's manageable.
Yeah, I can try to move the mic a little bit.
Okay, but it's audible, still audible.
Yeah, I won't try to talk much here. Yeah, because I just realized that it's very deep in my blouse. So, but you still can hear, right? It's not breaking the voice. Close your eyes and enjoy the silence of the pose. I will let you know when we are releasing. A few more moments. And very gently start undoing the pose, releasing your arms to the side just to observe. Remember, when we let go is when we feel this, what is called rebound, all these sensations, either physical or mentally. Sometimes we feel also an emotional release. So I'm just gonna go back to the front of the mat. Hopefully you're still there. So I can show you how to transition from whatever you are in this position to the next one. We're gonna continue working with the right leg. So keep the right leg in front. The right knee is the one in flexion. Plant it on the floor and then move your left leg back. So we're coming into sleeping swan. Let me make sure that I'm on the mat. Good. So options here for what is happening with this leg. Your glute most likely will be off the floor. This is for majority of us. No need to prop this part. By propping this, the glute, basically we're stopping the opportunity that the gravity has to take us lower, to take us deeper into the pose, to keep opening up the hip. So we don't need to prop this glute that is in the air. If whatever position you're having within here is causing discomfort in the knee, then we can change the position of the foot. So either you can come with the foot in a 90-degree angle. This is option for some people, definitely not for me. You can bring your foot closer to you. Your knee can be more in or more out. So by changing these other joints, we can support the external rotation that is needed in the hip to be calmly and softly in the pose. Once you have found this options for the arms, you may stay here in a more swan than a sleeping swan. You can come to your forearms. That is another option. Or you can walk your hands all the way to the front, resting your torso down to the floor. So choose the variation for your leg, for your arms. You can also make a pillow with your hands to rest your forehead. So choose what variation works for you today. Choose a variation that works for you today and then relax, release, let go. Having both hips aligned. So maybe some of us tend to shift the body weight to either side. So be aware of that. And keep both hips level. Melting down, sinking low, relaxing and letting go. Taking these moments of silence to go back to your breath, to go inwards, and perhaps making your practice a more meditative-like practice, using these spaces of silence to connect with your inner voice without reacting to it, just observing, allowing things to be. We still have about 40 seconds remaining. And very gently, maybe start moving your torso upright, pausing if you were not here. Now we will shift our body weight to the right, bringing your left leg, and we're gonna meet the knee. The left knee is meeting the right foot, making kind of like a four shape posture. So you wanna have now 90-degree angle in your shin, bringing your knee close to your foot, and we will do a twist. A twist that I particularly enjoy a lot because it's a twist that is involving your hips more than other twists. No, your left leg on the knee, your right hand behind, and we twist over the right. So this is only deer. This is the name of this pose. And I said only deer because if we go to the recline posture, you can come down on the floor, either on your forearms. This is one way to do it, or you can go flat on the floor, which I won't do today. I will stay up here. You can keep twisting and gazing over your right shoulder, or you can gaze down. Whatever works for your neck, for your head. There's no reason or no need actually to pull you deeper into the twist. We're just holding the twist. Remember, that is the difference between practicing postures in a yin way or in a yang way. In a yin way, we are using the body, the muscles, to support the shape, but we're holding the asana, we're holding the shape. In a more yang style, you are striving to use your muscles to move you further, deeper. Here is all about stillness, surrendering. The time and gravity will do the job. And mindfully, we let go. Transitioning to the last pose in this side. So we will bring the left foot forward very gently because we have been working with this leg back for a while. And now shift your body weight to the left, undo the leg, and bring your foot outside of your hip. So now, because also we have been doing a lot of external rotation, now we're doing internal rotation. We're trying to target majority of our joints in different ways. So to do this pose, you can open your knee as wide as you may need. It's a half frog pose, so you can open the knee. Options to do this pose, as you can see, the level of the pelvis has shifted as well. We are not anymore facing forward, so we can come forward in between the legs. That will have some effect in your hamstrings of your left leg and also the adductors of your right leg. Or you can come, place your torso on top of the left leg. This will intensify the sensations in the posterior part of your left leg. So choose which one you want to practice today, depending on where is the need. For me today, it feels, I was teaching this class before and I did it with my torso over my left leg. Today I feel that my hips, my right leg also needs a little bit of love. So I'm gonna come to the center. And 3 minutes here, wherever you decide to go. Torso is soft, your left leg is relaxed. We're now holding the toes, so let them go. The arms are softly planted on the floor. not to pull us, not to stop us. They're very relaxed. The torso is relaxed. And I'm keeping my head in line with the rest of the spine. You can drop it down if you feel like it.
Good morning.
And we stop here because Deepak is talking, so you can edit. It's okay. Anyway, we have to stop because I'm shooting a class. Yeah. Good morning. Observing how your torso feels heavier and heavier. If you are relaxing your muscles, paying attention to what is happening inside, you may start feeling some changes, how your posture start shifting inside of your body. You have about 1 minute remaining. If you find your mind wandering around, perhaps coming back to the breath, observe if the breathing has changed from the beginning of the class when we were trying to elongate the time, to increase the time of exhalations, always through the nose. Maybe going back to that observation, going back to pay attention to your breath. That will help your mind to keep focused. And time's up. Move your torso upwards. We're about to release and let go. We have been working with this, with the right leg for a while. So bring your right knee in. We will meet back into tabletop. Pausing, observing any difference perhaps between one side and the other one. And we will repeat all of this on the other side. So coming with your left foot forward, finding the baby dragon. Maybe if you have the blocks or the books and you know that you will use them here. If you have the blanket and you need to support your right knee, this is the moment to have it under the knee, between the knee and the floor. So to remind you the options, we have options to have the books or the blocks. So you support your hands. The hands can go down to the floor, resting your torso on your leg, or we can rest our hands softly on our thigh, finding a focal point in front of us and being up here. So choose the variation for your hands. See if you need the props, if you have them, and if not, you have option when you don't have props around. And wherever you are, I'll invite you to close your eyes or find a focal point on the floor to keep your eyes steady and calm, so your mind also remains steady and calm. And actually, time is the biggest challenge in the practice of yin. We are not used to be in a stillness for so long, in silence with ourselves. And actually, this is where I find the beauty of this practice. It gives me opportunity to, there's no escape. There's no distractions. So I have to be with me, with my body, with whatever is arising. I just embrace it and let it go. Only 20 seconds remaining. And we will start releasing the pose, maybe shifting your body weight upwards if you were not there, because remember, this position will help us to move into the next one. So we will move the left knee on top of the right knee, or in front of the right knee. So this is how we transition to shoelace. I will stay facing this side of the mat so you have a different angle now. So move your feet away so you can sit in between your feet. The options that I offer you before were that you're in easy cross. So I'm doing this, coming into easy cross, this time keeping your left leg in front. That is one option. Option 2 is to extend your right leg, bringing your left knee on top. So we do the asymmetrical version of the pose. This is one option. Or we can bend the right knee, keeping both knees together, the left stacked on top of the right. For the arms, this time we will have the left arm, and then we will bring the right arm on top, not the other way. The left hand is on top. So the left arm is on top. We bring our hands behind, so we kind of like hug ourselves, or we bring the torso of the hands together, or we keep squeezing and having the palms of the hands together, releasing, relaxing the torso forward, relaxing the shoulders and the elbows, and perhaps resting on your legs. If you change the variation of the legs, perhaps you just round the spine and hang heavy, or you can remain with the torso straight. See what works for you, what shape of legs and arms feels effective, where it's not too much, it's not too little, it's just right. A minute left. Use this time to dissolve and surrender. to go back to your breath, to listen to the breath, to feel what you're feeling, using your senses to go inwards, disconnecting as much as you can from the outside world. Try to connect more within. And mindfully, softly, bringing the torso up, right? If you were in a forward fold, and do the arms. Extend the arms so we can feel everything that happens when we release and let go. And keeping the left leg in front, we will shift the body weight forward, coming into sleeping swan, moving your right leg back. So, because we are not exactly symmetrical, we may need different things for these legs. So again, a reminder of options that we have for this pose. You can bring your foot to make a 90-degree angle. Option 2, with the foot, bring it closer to you, the knee more towards the center, more to the outside. That will give a different angle for the knee to come into this posture. So you can stay up here. You can come to your forearms, or you can let go completely. 3 minutes. Timer is there. Relaxing wherever you are. Letting go. Again, both hips are aligned. The pelvis are in the same level. We're not tilting to any side. Your left glute is probably most likely off the floor. Remember, the hip is a very tight, strong hip. So believe me, your hip is not up in the air because your hips are tight. Our hips are tight anyway. That's the reason that we target hips a lot in the yoga practice, the practice of asanas. We want to bring to our body what is lacking, what is needing, because we want to have strength, yes, but we also want to have mobility and flexibility. The balance between those two keep us healthy. Nevertheless, we have to acknowledge that some parts of our body need to be stronger than others, and some other parts need to be more mobile and flexible than others. The hip supports 2/3 of our body weight. So it has to be a strong joint. But again, strong and tight are not synonymous. We can have tight hips and very weak. So we want to make sure that they are mobile, flexible, and strong. Only 20 seconds remaining. And carefully, remember, you want to move slower than you think you should move. Start coming back up. Shifting your body weight to the left. We're going to bring the right knee to meet the foot. This time you want to have a more 90-degree angle. We're coming into the twist, the deer twist. So this is the shape for your legs, and then you bring your right hand on top of your left knee and we twist towards the left. So I won't face you here because I need to face to that other side. In this one, probably you're asking if your right glute is lifting off the floor. Most likely it will. If you're keeping this position, if you're seated, just try to see if you can sink it down, not very actively. If it lifts, and it's okay if it lifts. If you're doing the version where you're going down to the floor on your forearms or your chest, it will lift for sure. So you keep it up there. You can gaze over your left shoulder and you can gaze down. See what works for your neck and hold the twist. Only a few more seconds remaining. And gently undo the pose. We will start shifting our right leg forward. Move your body weight to the right because we are undoing the left foot, also bringing your left foot next to your hip on the outside. So we do the internal rotation and move the knee out. Today I decided to go in between the legs. If you are deciding to go over the legs, so you can come over the right leg, softly resting your torso on top, or you can rest your torso in the center. The toes, your knee of your right leg can move in or out or stay up, depending on the position of your bones, but we are not holding them, we're not moving them consciously anywhere. The muscles are soft and relaxed. The hands are softly placed on the floor, not stopping you, not pulling you. We micro bend the elbows. So we make sure that we are not using our arms as a prop to stop our torso to keep going down and lower. Observe if you're holding any tension in your left leg. And perhaps release We are retraining also our nervous system. So the nervous system is the one who's going to protect us from the outside and from ourselves. So when we start coming into a pose, the nervous system will send opposite signals to our body, not to stretch, let go of the load, mainly because the nervous system doesn't know what we're doing, so it has to protect us. But once you hold a pose for long, we're actually telling our nervous system, it's okay, we know what we're doing, I'm holding this, it's not a sudden movement, you can let go. This is when everything starts relaxing and you can enjoy the benefits of the pose. Good. So 3 minutes are gone. We come back up. We will bring the right foot just to shift our body weight back into tabletop. Observing, pausing for a moment. We transition from here to our belly. Finding our back bend, extending our hips. Now both hips are in extension. We will be 3 minutes in Sphinx pose, having your elbows in line with your shoulders, palms together. Glutes, hamstrings, legs are soft. Abdomen relaxed and soft. We are compressing the posterior part of the lumbar spine. That's what we want. We want to close the back of our spine to open up the front. We cannot stretch, elongate, and open something in the body without closing, contracting, compressing another part. The shoulders and the upper torso is active, so you can be in this pose in a gentle way for the neck. If we let go, we will collapse in between the shoulders, and that's not the idea of the pose. We relax the area that we want to stress, and we can activate other areas that are supporting the pose, the shape that you are making with your body. So we will transition from Sphinx to Seal, which is basically the same posture, but just changing the arms to increase the stimulus in the lower back. 2 minutes in Seal, so you have the option to stay here for 2 minutes, or you can place your hands in the corners of your mat and extend your elbows, coming into Seal pose. You can either bring your hands closer to you. That will increase the stress. Not necessarily more is better. But you can decide how close or how far away your hands will be today, or just staying in the previous pose. Relaxing your glutes. They're going to contract because they are responsible of extending the hip. And we need the extension of the hip to be in a back bend. But we are not actively contracting the glutes. Let the legs to be soft. Keep your eyes fixed on one point on the floor or close. Using every breath to calm your mind, to connect with your inner world, to observe inside of you. Only 10 seconds to go. And wherever you are, we will start releasing the pose, allowing your torso, your head to come all the way down, resting on your hands, making a pillow with your hands. Letting go, relaxing the lumbar spine, and observing how it feels once you are out of the pose. We're transitioning to our back, so we just need to roll over. So you come to your back. We have been doing a lot of work in our legs, our ankles, our knees, our hips. So bring your legs up. So options for happy baby. Remember, I always give you options. There's always one option, one shape for everybody. So you can grab your feet from the inside or the outside, and your feet can come closer to your groin. That is one way of practicing happy baby. Or you can send the soles of your feet to face the sky, the ceiling, your hands on the inside or the outside. And then keeping your arms soft and heavy. And your knees dropping to the sides of your torso and towards the floor. Palm is lifted. We're passively hanging here. Hopefully with all these stretches that we have been doing, all this compression and twisting, we offer our body a space for recovering either sore muscles or even emotional stress. Stimulating all our body in one sequence, in one class. Remember that the short effects of the yin practice are different than the long-term effects. In the moment that we're practicing, we may feel discomfort, We may feel our joints vulnerable, sensitive, but in the long run, we are also retraining our brain, our nervous system to be calm, to let go, to release. Our connective tissues are becoming resilient, stronger, flexible, mobile. A few more moments in happy baby before letting go to our final resting pose. So undo the posture, let go of your feet, and we will finish with pentacle, which is a pose that you look like a star, opening your legs much wider than your mat. Your hands can be in the shoulder, at the shoulder level, or you can even bring your arms a bit higher, whatever feels comfortable. And just dissolving on the floor, melting down, relaxing, letting go, feeling your limbs, your legs, your arms heavy, the torso, the face soft and relaxed. Everything is heavy, everything is soft. We are not holding anything. We're just letting go. You can stay longer in this position. You have time. I will invite you to stay a bit longer. Otherwise, we can start moving our toes and fingers, allowing those little movements to awaken the rest of our body. Bringing the legs together, lengthening the arms above the head, bending your knees, rolling to either side. We're just moving to one side to help ourselves to come to a comfortable seated position. Taking your time to move out. Being aware that we are in a very grounding energy, a very heavy, earthy energy. So just be cautious when you get up from the mat and start or resume the activities of your day. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I hope to see you back here very soon. Thank you. Well done. If you made it this far, your hips might be feeling open, healthy, and loved. If so, let me know by clicking the like button below, and also remember that there are many more classes in the hip opening playlist. Go and check them out. Also, after so many years of teaching in yoga teacher training courses, I have learned that when it comes to poses, it's not necessarily how it looks, but how it feels. And for this, I created the hips and knees program. If you're ready to have healthy hips that are going to support your knees and forget about that idea of protecting your knees in yoga practice, this program is for you. To have more information and to sign up in this program, click the first link you will find below this video. And if you have any question, any comment, let me know and I will be happy to reply. Thank you and see you very soon on the other side of the screen.